guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's class, we are going to be looking at the integers. So I'm going to teach you what integers are and how you can solve any problems that are related to integers. So let's get started. So integers are whole numbers that do not have a fractional or a decimal part attached to it. They can be negative, positive, or zero. So what that means is that an integer is any whole number that does not have a fractional or a decimal part to it. And when I say that a number has a fractional part to it, I mean something like this. You can have a number, say 2 as a whole number, and then it has a fractional part to it. So this is not an integer because it has a fractional part to it. Then coming to the decimal part, you can also have a number, say 2.21. This is not an integer because it has a decimal part to it. So basically, integers are just any whole number that you can think of, any number that you can think of, so far as it does not have a fractional part to it or a decimal part to it, it is an integer. Now, having said that, let's do a little bit of exercise on integers. Let's see if we can identify integers. So let's say you have a question like this. Which of the following is an integer? Which of the following? So you have the options A 2.7, B 31.6, right? C 42, and then D 6.8. So from the definition I gave you about integers, you can clearly see that A is not an integer because it has a decimal part to it. B is not an integer because it also has a decimal part to it. C is an integer because it's a pure whole number. So we can say that C is our integer. Let's do another exercise just to see, just to be clear on integers. So let's say you have a question like this. Identify the integers. Oh, sorry. Integers. Identify the integers in the option. The options below. So we have our first option, 18 over 2. And then B option is 2 over 5. C is 0.40. And then D is 10.0. So let's take it one after the other. Now, A looks like a fraction, but it's actually not a fraction because 18 can be divided by 2 to give us 9. So A is an integer. B, on the other hand, is a fraction, so it is not an integer. C is not an integer because this is a decimal. Now D looks like a decimal, but it's actually an integer because this is 10.0, and any number point 0 means that number point nothing. 0 is nothing in mathematics, so this is basically saying 10 point nothing. 10 point nothing is equals to 10. So we have our integers. Our integers are A and D. So I'll just give you the last exercise so that you can pause the video and try to solve it on your own. Identify the integers in the options. you actually should not have played that question. But anyways, option A is square of 8, B is 25.0, C is 35 over 5, and D is 41 over 3. So guys, go ahead and pause the video and try to solve this exercise. Okay, so option A, 8 raised to power 2. 8 raised to power 2 is equals to 8 by 8, which is equal to 64. So this is an integer. We have our first integer. The second option is 25.0. 25.0, like I said before, any number point 0 means that number points nothing. So 25.0 is still equal to 25. We have our second integer. Now, option C says that 5 divided by 5. That 5 can be divided by 5 to give us 7. So we have our third integer. Okay, so our option D is 41 over 3. So 3 can go into 41 13 times, but it will have a remainder of 2 over 3. So this goes to show us that this is not an integer because it has a fractional part to it. So that's it for identifying integers. Let's go on to learn about addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division of integers. Let's start with multiplication. So in multiplying integers, there are some rules that you use to multiply integers. And the first one goes like this. A negative integer multiplying another negative integer will give us a positive outcome. Now, a negative integer multiplying a positive integer will give us a negative outcome, while a positive integer multiplying another positive integer will give us a positive outcome. So these are the rules that we're going to use to multiply integers. Let's go ahead and try to solve some multiplication problems. So if you have a problem like this, say minus 5 multiplied by minus 3. Now, these are two negative integers. By the way, a negative number is any number that has the negative sign as a prefix. So these are two negative integers. To multiply this, first of all, multiply the negative signs. And from our multiplication rules, we know that negative multiplying another negative will give us a positive outcome. So we're going to first of all multiply it to get a positive sign, and then we'll go ahead to multiply the digits. That is 5 by 3. 5 times 3. 5 times 3, if you know your multiplication tables, is 15. So this is our answer, which is the same as 15, because if a number is positive, there is no point um, putting the sign here. This shows a number not having any sign shows that it is positive. Let's do another one. So let's say you have negative 5 times positive 5. From our rules, we know that a negative multiplying a positive will give us a negative outcome. So we'll go ahead and multiply the signs first. Negative times positive is going to give us a negative outcome. And then we'll multiply the digits. 5 by 5 is 25. So what we are going to have is a minus 25, negative 25. That is our outcome for this problem. Let's do another one. Let's put this rule to play. Just positive multiply by positive is the normal multiplication you're used to. Let's say positive 2 times another positive 2, 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. So you can see that the outcome is positive. And like I told you, you don't bother writing the sign because we already know it's positive. Now guys, go ahead and try to solve this to see if you get it. So you have minus negative 10 times another one, positive 5 negative 2, 3. So guys, you can go ahead and pause the video and try to solve this problem. Now, from our multiplication table, okay, first of all, let's multiply the signs. Our negative multiplied by another negative give us a positive, and then multiplying our digits from multiplication table, we know that 10 times 2 is 20. So our answer is 20. Second one, this is a positive 5 multiplying a negative 2. So positive multiplying negative will give us a negative outcome. Then we'll go ahead and multiply the digits. 5 times 2 will give us 10. So our answer is a negative 10. The third one, negative times positive will give us negative. 4 times 5 will give us 20. Now, the fourth one, this is a positive multiplying another positive. So we have 5 times 5 is 25. So this is the answer that you're supposed to get. So guys, just to incorporate the zero figure, because I told you that zero is also an integer. So let's say you're multiplying 5 by 0 is equals to what? 0. Any number multiplied by 0 will give you 0. Have that at the back of your mind. So that's it for multiplication of integers.